My presentation is about the strategies that we need to adopt as content providers, especially developmental content providers, for taking their quality content to millions of users across India. Kojo just spoke about the focus of most of the, and maybe we can deliberate on what are the kind of strategies that we can adopt apart from what I've suggested for a way forward. So what I believe is the most dangerous divide facing this country is the information divide, and I think if ready information is accessed or accessible to most of the people, a lot of these problems could be, I'm not saying it could be resolved, but it could be addressed in a much better fashion. So what I'm saying is, in an information society, there is no serious effort undertaken by people to actually bridge the information divide. And the information disconnect that we are talking about is something which affects all level of peoples. It could be a rural person, it could be an urban person. For example, pregnancy related information is equally important to a urban female as well as to a rural female. And there are urban poor in the country who have no access to these kind of informations. So yes, whether it is urban or rural, it is the poor who gets impacted or affected because of the information disconnect. So we know all this, there are 800 million mobile connections in this country. But if you see the kind of content which is being ported through these mobile phones, 99% of this content is entertainment based, and the same content is available across all other media. So if you look at TV, radio, CDs, it is porting the same content, and the same content a consumer is paying on the mobile phones to access it. And this is a $2.5 billion market. So $2.5 billion are spent by Indian consumers for content which is available across all other media. So these are some of the questions we had in mind when we started our mobile initiative in ILFS education. That in a country where millions of people die due to childbirth, wouldn't an information about simple pregnancy precautions be of importance to a to a mother? Wouldn't she be interested in paying for such information? Or for example, the value of information about female condom to a girl who's getting married in a day or two. What is the premium that the person is willing to pay for information like this, which is available on the go or at the touch of a button? And I am just talking about two information disconnects. I think there are thousands of such information disconnects where people would want the information, but it is not available to them. And I'm sure our experience has shown that people are willing to pay a premium for such services. So I'm just, it makes commercial sense if just 200 people out of the 800 million people, subscribers, just pay 10 rupees a month. We are talking of a $500 million market every year. So it's a huge opportunity which today the mobile operators are willing to look at. So what is the challenge? The challenge is, yes, governments, developmental organizations are working relentlessly to address all these information disconnects in their own ways, and bridging this information divide through mass media channels like mobile phones could definitely help them or support their efforts. The question today is, while we talk about all this, the necessary quality content which needs to be ported through these media channels or through these mass media channels is currently not available, and whatever is available, we do not know whether we are compromising on the developmental goals to port that content. So there are these kind of issues which we need to discuss, and we need to ensure that the right content with the right developmental goals actually reaches the customer. Now what I'm going to talk about in my next part of the presentation are the strategies. So for us, when we build content like mobile swasthya or sex education on mobile phones, these are the 4 strategies which we undertook and which we learnt as we moved across in this phase. And these are the kind of 4 things which I think is very, very important to look at for all the content development agencies who want to port content into to millions of people across this country. I think the first is partnerships, the second is the presentation of content, the third is the promotion strategy, and the fourth is the payment gateway. I'll just expand on these 4 points. So it's very important to understand that what is the partner that you want to choose to port your developmental content to people across the country. Now you could have some content which is which can make more impact on videos. So you could have some content which can make more impact through interactive elements embedded in it. So we need to understand that what is the type of content I want to port and who is the right partner. Now today if you look at mass media, we are talking of mobile operators. There are a whole lot of retail channel owners where these people like My Oxygen, or people like there are some retail channel owners who have close to 1 lakh retail outlets across the country. Close to 1 to 1.5 million people access these retail outlets on a daily basis. So there are these retail channel owners who you can partner with. There are DTH operators where this content can be ported, and obviously you can set up your own internet portal. So we believe that careful evaluation of a partner is half the battle won. Because I'll talk about our partnerships in the later slides, but this careful evaluation is very critical, that this is the content which can go on mobile operators, and amongst the mobile operators, which is the right mobile operator that I need to choose, who will take this product forward. This is the second very important aspect, which is how should the content be presented. Should the content needs to be in local language, this is a given, but there are so many elements of content that you need to understand, that is this content better presented in IVR, is this content better presented in SMS, or peer-to-peer, or could be through live counseling, or one-to-many voice chats. So there are various elements of content, and all these things need to be thought about beforehand before you approach a mobile operator. I think the other part, one important point here is what we realized was, for example, we had when we launched sex education on mobile phones, we did a survey with the users. What they came back to us and told us was that the information, the content is very informative, but it is delivered in a very bland format. So it needs to be creatively delivered, it needs to be short, precise, it needs to be to the point, and there are a lot of creative elements that you need to put into the content. Though you might feel that this is a content that, this is information, why do I need to creatively package it? But it is very critical that, information needs to be creatively packaged for the customer to access it or consume it. This promotions is one of the most important element if your content needs to be heard in a crowded media landscape. And what we realized was good content. For example, we have a product like Mobile Swasthya, which has a list of about 30 various commonly common diseases and answers to those diseases in terms of precautions and preventive care and everything. Now mobile operators are not interested in promoting that concept. We've created this content. It is lying with the mobile operators for the last 6 to 8 months, but they are taking their own sweet time to promote, and we have no other media to promote this content. So we have to get we have to depend on the mobile operators to ensure that the content get promoted. And what we have realized is just creating good content, just creating outstanding content is of no use unless you can partner with someone who can promote it. So there is typically when you create content, you get involved in the content development process. You think that you've created the best content, and you feel that if one user listens to that content, he might go and tell the other user, and suddenly there will be this huge viral